Thank you for watching. Today I'm going to show you how to do lettering. Whether that's an existing logo or something you want to create yourself, that really doesn't matter. The body that I'm going to paint up is this, oh my god, stickers sticking everywhere, stickers that most likely I won't be using, is this ProLine Blockbuster body. This is how it comes in the package. No roof, gives you some room to mount an action camera. They're perfect for GoPros. This body, I must say, it is really thick. It's a lot thicker than, for example, a Flowtech body. It's also to, I think, get rid of some of the vibrations that you might experience when you're running your car with an action camera mounted to it. I've had a lot of questions from people. How do I cut my graphics? I do not use any plotters. I don't use any fancy stuff. I just use my computer, so I will take you through a few quick steps on how you as well can do some custom lettering or an existing logo on your car. What I'm going to do to the Blockbuster body, I already cut it out. Use my Pro-2 body tools. Trust me, I'm not sponsored in any way. They just work really well, especially the big sanding drum that you can put on your Dremel. This one, excellent to get rid of some of the rough edges inside the wheel arches. And I also use this, I believe it's called a Better Edge system. It comes with a sanding belt and it helps you straighten out the lines over here, for example, in the front and in the back. Really useful tool. I will try to show you the difference with a regular Flowtech body. I believe, if I need to estimate it, that the Blockbuster body is made from a 2mm Lexan, where the Flowtech body is made from 1.5mm. It does mean that the Blockbuster is a tiny bit heavier. And you may wonder, why is this roof completely gone on the Flowtech body? Well, let me show you. I really like the idea of being able to run around with an action camera, but I also really like the idea of the car still having some realism. And I think it will also add something to the footage, because you can imagine if there's no roof on the car and you take a turn and all of a sudden you have the sun in the back, there's still a whole lot of light inside the car. I want to eliminate that, so I cut this chunk of body out of the Flowtech body, and that is going to sit on the Blockbuster body like this. I'm going to attach it with some Velcro and just hope that it holds up. If not, too bad. What I do if I want to paint an existing logo, go to Google, grab my logo, I put it in Photoshop. You can also use Microsoft Paint, for example. That also works really well. I modify it if I want to modify it. In this case, with the Blockbuster body, I really like having the GoPro logo on there, but I'm going to do it with a little twist. So I'm going to add line. So we'll say GoPro line. This is, after all, a ProLine body. GoPro has a really recognizable logo, so I decided to use that one so you have a bit of an idea of how easy it actually is. I put it in Photoshop. Afterwards I flip it horizontally, I print it out, stick it to the outside of the body, and off you go. You put the body on a lamp and you start cutting, but I will show you that. If you do paint up a shell, don't go for the obvious lines, because those aren't always the best ones. You can tell with the Blockbuster body there's a really straight line going on from front to back. You could, of course, position your writing like that, but I think it will make it a tiny bit more interesting to have an upgoing line. So what I'll be doing is I will cut this out and I will be sticking it to the body, I think like this. Take it from there. You can tell it's getting messier here. I made a start masking up the body, doing like a gazillion things at the same time again. Right now I'm going to stick my lettering to the outside of the body. You can tell that in the center over here I just stuck a piece of 2-inch wide tape, stuck that to the body. I'm going to flip the colors on it, so I'm going to use the exact opposite of what I printed out over here. So I'm going to go for black lettering against a white background, just because it's a bit easier to mask it up as well. There's almost no way to get into these crevices over here. I also drew a few lines up on the roof just to make sure that it flows correct with the rest of the body. The imperfections that you will have in your cut work, I always think that adds a lot of charm to the body. I never use plotters, I never use airbrush. I like seeing those tiny imperfections because it also shows the effort that you put in. Working with rattlecans or with masking tape, it obviously has its limitations, it really does. But those limitations are, in my opinion, also what makes it interesting. I have a lot of people asking me if I'm going to buy airbrush setup, if I'm going to do more with liquid mask, and when I'm going to buy a plotter. Never, never and never. Although liquid mask I might use that a bit more in the future, but only if I have something that's really intricate. Other than that, with masking tape and with rattlecans you can achieve quite good effects. Most of the videos that you've seen about me painting, everything is done with rattlecans, everything is done with regular masking tape. I like having limitations with the material because it forces you to get creative. If you want to achieve some really special effects or some really good results, you need to think out of the box, and well, it's kind of like a brain teaser. That's what I like about it, and that's also, you know, I'm not done learning yet with rattlecans, with masking tape. Most of the times you see me try new stuff on camera. I think in this case it will be no different, because somewhere along the lines of the paint scheme I will come up with something that I just want to try to see if it goes, and I'm still bad at muting my stuff. So don't be afraid of using simple materials, because you can do a whole lot with them. Just give it some thought and go be creative. I'm ready for paint. Everything is cut. I cut the lettering on the sides. It says Go ProLine. I also sort of determine what colors I want to use. I'm going to use dark blue metallic in the bottom of the shell. I'm going to use a regular blue metallic for the rest. Simply because in the ProLine packaging and in all the ProLine logos, there's a lot of blue going on. The same goes for the GoPro logo, so that sort of ties it in nicely together. So overall the body will be dark. The scallops, I'm going to fill those in with white, along with the big line that goes upwards that you see over here, which has the GoPro line lettering in it. The center, the hood scoop, I'm going to paint that black. I think I'm going to also cover that with a flat clear from the outside afterwards, along with the interior. The roof I'm going to do in a white. I've also put some lettering on the roof. Maybe you've been able to see that in the close-up. Same technique, you just print it out, reverse it, put it on the shell, lay that on a lamp, and you start cutting. If you're having a hard time hitting those straight lines, use a ruler. Just to make sure that you can trace it, and don't think in letters, think in shapes. So you do everything as horizontal first, afterwards you do everything as vertical, and afterwards you tie it in and you complete each and every letter. Make sure to hit all of your lines. As soon as you're cutting, a lot of people have asked me, do I cut one color at a time? No, you cut everything in one go. As soon as you start painting, it will be impossible to see what you need to cut. So you cut each and every line before you put on the first color. That's the best tip I can give you. Another good tip that I can give you is, if you want to improve your cutting skills, go and try a pinstripe. Around the scallops over here, for example, I did a 1.5 2mm wide pinstripe. It just greatly improves your technique if you mess around with that for a tiny bit. It doesn't have to be perfect, keep that in mind. Any imperfections will only be visible to you. And your next shell will be a lot better than this one. New to me in this video is using PS59. PS59 is a dark blue metallic color by Tamiya, and in this case I found it really useful to use it in the bottom of the shell. Why in the bottom of the shell, and why not a fade going on from front to back? Really simple. The Blockbuster is a quite boxy body, and you want to, well, I wanted to get rid of some of the boxiness. One of the things you can do is adding a few lines, like I did with the scallops and the writing on the side, but another really good trick is to have a fade going on from top to bottom, using the darkest color in the bottom. It only has to be a tiny shade of difference, barely noticeable, to have a big effect. That's exactly what I went for over here. So I painted a dark blue metallic in the bottom and a regular blue metallic over the top. I masked up all of the black prior to painting that background color, simply because all of the blue metallic colors need to be backed with a black anyway. Painting the black after you put on your blue metallics ensures that you don't have to break out your black twice. You can back everything in one go and fill in your all of your black colors in one step. So that includes also the lettering, for example, and in my case over here the hood scoop. When the black was dry, I put on the light blue pinstripe. All of this goes really quick. You don't have to wait hours for the paint to dry, trust me for it. If you have a working lamp that you're using that heats up a tiny bit, just put your shell on the lamp as you're waiting for your paint coat to dry. Have a coffee or have a soda. Wait for it to set. Only takes about 10 minutes, and start peeling your next color. Which in my case was the light blue, that is also the pinstripe around the scallops. I painted that one, and after that I only had one step left to do, which was put on the white. In the white as well I used the fade from top to bottom, so in the largest white sections, in which also the lettering is incorporated, on the sides there's a fade going on from top. The top is white to a bright silver. Again, it slims down the body. It's a very simple but super effective trick that you can use if you want to alter the shape of a body by using paint. It's kind of a visual trick. After painting up the entire inside, I decided that instead of using the grill stickers, that I wanted to use some real mesh. So that's when I brought out the Dremel. I cut some holes in the front. Not just in the grill section, but also in the hood scoop, and I cut a few holes in the back of that ProTrac roof, behind which I hot glued some real mesh, just to add some realism and some detail to the body. A simple step, doesn't have to cost much. I used a kitchen utensil for the purpose of making mesh. Stuff like that you could pick up for I think $5 in a kitchen store or in a dollar store. Just keep your eyes open and see what's available. Get a hot glue gun, because a hot glue gun really works well for detailing any type of body. It doesn't matter if that's a Lexan body or a hard body, and go have some fun with that. All of the paint on the inside done. There's only one thing left to do, that's peeling off the clear overspray film. It's very tempting to rip it off in one go, but especially with this body, since it needs to house a GoPro, you don't want to have too much glare going on the inside. So I wanted to dull things down. The perfect coat to dull things down on the inside or on the outside for that matter is to me a PS55. It's a flat clear. I've heard from a few people who have a hard time getting a hold of it. I do believe that it is still produced. I just bought a load of it myself. If you find it in your hobby store, make sure to get it, because you can achieve some amazing effects with the PS55. For example, over here in the back, this is one black surface, and it looks like it's two colors, or it looks like there's some tone differences simply by adding that PS55 clear coat. You carefully cut the clear overspray film that's on the outside of the body, peel it out, make sure that it sticks where you still want it to stick, and that you peel it where you want it to be peeled, where you want to have that flat coat be apparent after you're done painting, and take it from there. That is such an important step. I can't emphasize that enough, how important it is to make your window frames look more realistic, or your entire body, in case you want to just completely dull it out. It is an amazing tool, and I love using it. To keep the ProTrac roof in place, I use some Velcro. I bought this in a hardware store. Super simple as well to get your hands on it. It is very, very strong, but it still allows me to access the GoPro in case I need to get into the car. And on the other hand, it really hides it nicely in case I'm driving and I actually want to film the car without it being too visible that there's a GoPro camera in there. Well, that wraps it up. How to paint a ProLine Blockbuster body, or at least how I did it. Again, I used the roof from a ProTrac body. I'm not tossing anything else away. I still have the doors, the hood and the back portion of that ProTrac body sitting right over there, right outside of the frame on my table. I'm going to use that in one of my next videos. You will see what I'm going to use that for. Blockbuster body gives you a whole lot of opportunity to try some different things with the double door tops, with the Lexan being a bit thicker. You can hear outside it is pouring, so most likely I will be painting another shell straight after wrapping up this video. The Blockbuster, the Lexan, is 2 millimeters thick, so that will give you some opportunity to do some custom cuts, drill some holes, make some gashes and gaps behind which you can stick some mesh like I did over there in the front and in the back. Overall, I would say that this was a really enjoyable body to paint up. Once I determined how my paint scheme, what it was going to look like, and I set off, it went quite quick. This is an easy body to work on, but also one that gives you a lot of possibilities to customize. I'm really happy that I did put a roof on there. I love a bit of scale realism, and I like the fact that the GoPro is not just well protected, but also tucked away from it being completely visible from the outside. That way this car is functional, but it's also I think a tiny bit better to look at, or at least it's a bit more preferred by me this way. If you do end up on the ProLine Racing website, do not forget to use the HemiStorm 10 discount code. It will give you an instant 10% discount on all of your purchases. It doesn't matter if that's 5th scale wheels and tires, a complete Pro-2 short course kit, or a buggy kit, or just a body. It applies to absolutely everything. And the people of ProLine have been kind enough to supply me with that code to hand it out to you guys. Also make sure to share it with your friends at the local track, all of your RC buddies. Make sure that they use that code, because saving money is always a good thing, and it will allow you to make some room for spending money on different stuff, because life is expensive enough as it is. Hope you enjoyed watching this video. I know it was a whole lot of info in a really short time. If you have any suggestions on what topics I need to cover a tiny bit more, on where you would like to see some more detailed info about, for example, lettering, fading, whatsoever, don't be shy, hit me up in the comments box. I will try to get back to you, absolutely. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Don't forget to hit the like button before you go if this video was of any use. If you want to be a tiny bit ahead of what's going on over here, don't forget to check out my Facebook page. There's also a link to that in the description box. And in the meantime, I hope that you have as much fun painting as I'm always having, that you come up with some custom solutions, that you manage to up the bar a tiny bit for yourself, because that's what it's all about. Have fun, take care, stay safe, bye bye.